So it is my great pleasure to introduce to you our new bishop-elect. And as you may have read already, he has lots of experience in the Pacific Islands. And so I think the nuncio is very careful to make sure that we have somebody that understands island culture and Polynesian culture. And I think Bishop-elect Michael Castori does that very well. And so I am grateful for the appointment of Bishop-elect Castori, and I introduce him now to you to say a few words.
Aloha. I must from the start thank our gracious and loving God for the gift of life and for bringing me and all of us safely to this moment. I want to thank all of you who are gathered here today, most especially most Reverend Larry Silva, Good Shepherd of the Diocese of Honolulu. I thank you for welcoming me with your aloha and for guiding me so kindly and wisely through this time and change in my life. I also want to thank Monsignor Gary Secor, the Vicar General, for your very kind welcome and accompaniment at this time. And I thank you, all of the priests, brothers and sisters, the College of Consultors, the Presbyteral Council, all of the staff of the diocese, the members of the media, all of you who have taken time from your schedules to come this morning to be here. Thank you. When I received a call a little over 2 weeks ago asking if I would be open to the appointment by His Holiness Pope Leo XIV to serve as Bishop of Honolulu, I was in the garage of my Jesuit community at the time, and my initial reaction was shock, followed by the awareness of my unworthiness. My inclination was to ask to be removed from consideration. I was given a couple of days, however, to pray over this before making my response. And during those 2 days, I found relief for my soul in only 2 prayers. Your will be done, and the Suscipe prayer of St. Ignatius Loyola. Take, Lord, and receive all my liberty. You have given all to me. To you, Lord, I return it. Give me only your love and grace. That is enough for me. Praying before the Blessed Sacrament during those 2 days, I came to a sense of peace and then a firm belief that whatever decision the Holy Father made with regard to the episcopacy of the diocese, it would be from God. And so if it were to be me, I could accept the appointment with peace and joy. And so I'm here with you today, still in almost as much shock as I was in the garage when I received that call, but also joyful. St. Thomas Aquinas taught that grace works through our nature. And so by way of introducing myself to you this morning, please allow me to share something of my life journey by way of explaining how now I feel graced with peace and joy. This is not a detailed spiritual or temporal biography, but I'll call it 3 moments of my life that have been crucial. Although, as you'll hear, each of these moments in my life spanned a good number of years. The first moment of my life I call nurtured in love. I grew up in a deeply loving family. I am the son of Michael and Lucille Castori of Carmichael, California, and through them and my sisters, Joanne and Pamela, I was graced from my earliest moments with God's unconditional love. My parents and sisters were all school teachers. My father, a school principal. And their work in education, they always understood to be truly a calling. My happiest childhood memories are of our summer vacations together. Because every summer, without fail, my parents would take my sisters and me, and often with our cousins, the Tows, for weeks on end, first to the mountains and then to the ocean. Without my knowing, of course, at the time that very combination of ocean and mountains would define the topography of this beautiful diocese, which now becomes my home. When I entered the Jesuit high school in Sacramento, the love of God followed me, manifest in the personal care for and interest in each student showed by the Jesuit fathers and brothers. Then at university, close, transformative, what would become lifelong friendships with classmates from other Jesuit schools and with college roommates conveyed that love as well. And it helped me to know myself better and to begin to consider the possibility of a future that I had not previously entertained. In senior year in college, I made a spiritual retreat in which I first felt the gentle tuggings of the call to priesthood. Although I would not enter the Jesuit novitiate for some years after, until 1987. I guess that was a long first moment. The second moment of my life I call surprised by grace. In the process of discerning my priestly vocation, I first entered the Jesuit Volunteer Corps as a layman in 1985 and was sent by JVC Micronesia to teach on Guam. En route, the other volunteers and I landed here in Honolulu and spent a few days of orientation here. I was quickly taken in by the rich beauty of this state and the rich diversity and warm hospitality of its people. In the 41 years that have passed since I first touched down here, in a sense, my soul has never left the Pacific. During my Jesuit formation, I was sent further south to teach in Fiji, in Suva, Fiji, at the Pacific Regional Seminary, an extraordinary seminary that educates priests of the dioceses of Polynesia, Micronesia, and Melanesia, as well as seminarians of the Society of Mary, the Society of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary, the Missionaries of the Sacred Heart, Vincentians, Society of the Divine Word. Respecting the gifts and dignity of each island nation and culture from which the seminarians come, while forging a union of minds and hearts within the church in Oceania. The surprise came in 1993, when on a Christmas vacation visit to Tonga, I was warmly welcomed into the home of Malatino and Kalalain Tupo in the village of Fasimoeafi, means faith with fire. and became fully a member of their family. And so blessed anew with loving brothers, sisters, and kainga. My legal middle name, Tupo, is a marker of that moment in my life. When I returned to California, I was able by the kindness of Cardinal Maffei and the Tongan Catholic Chaplaincy to carry on my precious connection with the Pacific through ministry with the Tongan Catholic Chaplaincy in Hayward, Oakland, the greater Bay Area of San Francisco, and Sacramento. Moreover, this surprising grace in my life, writ large, enriched my core religious identity. In the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius, which I made as a novice, the retreatant contemplates the kingship of Christ our Lord, who, though sovereign of the universe, so loves his people that he humbles himself in suffering and dying so as to lead them to eternal glory. This contemplation took on new significance for me through my immersion in Polynesian life, as I inhaled the reverence and respect of the peoples of the Pacific for the legacy of their earthly sovereigns, who, while invested with majesty, have often given of themselves and suffered greatly for the good of their peoples. Polynesian culture has profoundly deepened my understanding and my living of the spirituality in which I was formed. And so this moment in my life moves me with joy to select to be my Episcopal motto, E hiki mai ko aupuni, from the Hawaiian, Our Father, thy kingdom come. Because I believe that all of us, in witnessing together to the life and teachings of Christ, not only are set on the path to heaven, but also hasten God's reign of justice and peace on earth. And the third moment of my life, I call a Pentecost. From 2014 to 2024, I was blessed to serve the Good Shepherd of the Diocese of Oakland, California, Most Reverend Michael Barber. Bishop Barber kindly assigned me to serve as an associate pastor at a parish of remarkable cultural and linguistic diversity, All Saints Catholic Church in Hayward. There, under the devoted pastorship of Father Gomez, Masses were celebrated on a regular basis in English, Spanish, Tongan, Igbo, occasionally Portuguese, along with the full observance of Simbanga B. Along with these liturgies, I experienced the wonder of Pentecost at our parish fiestas, simply by watching the children of such varied shades and backgrounds walking across the playing ground, literally hand in hand. When I served as vicar for clergy, I witnessed that same gift of the Spirit in the diversity of our Oakland Presbyterate. The East Bay is also a region of great religious diversity, and it was a privilege and a joy to make friendships and collaborate through the Interfaith Council of Alameda County with faith leaders of Jewish, Muslim, and Hindu communities and of other Christian denominations. And in light of this 10-year Pentecostal experience in my life, the thought now of pastoring in the Diocese of Honolulu, in the state of Hawaii, a uniquely situated and graced meeting place of good people of so many languages, cultures, nations of origin, This thought brings me great joy and purpose. I pray and ask for your prayers that I may be worthy and capable of carrying on Bishop Silva's inspired vision of the church as family. And so I'd like to close here with where I began, with gratitude. For I have so very much to be thankful for. I thank our good and gracious God for his abundant blessings and for his extending his hand to lead me back to the Pacific to serve the Diocese of Honolulu. I thank His Holiness, Pope Leo XIV, for the trust he has placed in me. I thank you, Bishop Silva, the Good Shepherd of the Diocese of Honolulu. I thank you for your wondrous, inspirational care for the diocese. And thank you for your wise guidance at this time and for the years to come. I thank the Society of Jesus, Father General, Father Provincial of the USA West Province, my brothers of the Irupe community in Seattle, and my brother Jesuit companions through these many years. I thank the Society for forming me, loving me, and enabling me to receive this appointment in peace. I thank my dear family, all the Castoris and the Tupos, and my dear and cherished friends. You know who you are, for your great love and unfailing presence throughout my life. I thank the families and the good people and all the ministries in which I have been blessed to serve, for giving me far more than I have given you, and for our laboring together in God's vineyard. And I thank you, the Diocese of Honolulu, you priests, brothers and sisters, diocesan staff, lay ministry, all of you the faithful, the member of this family church, this communion in the Lord. I thank you for your aloha, for warmly receiving me, and for our journey together that lies ahead. I ask for your prayers, not only at this time, but for the years to come, that though unworthy, I may, by the grace of God, know and do His will for our church, and that together we build His kingdom in our midst. Mahalo nui loa. God bless and keep you all.